Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for MUFC Unfiltered podcast, the best podcast you want to be listening to on a Sunday night, talking all things Manchester United. And we've got a lot to discuss, man. You know what I mean? Some sources coming out that Eric Ten Hag is feeling a bit frustrated and he wants to be backed. He wants to know his assurances about his job. And we'll talk about the fan base division. Still Ten Hag in versus Ten Hag out, circling within the fan base. A lot of people want to keep him. If you want to keep him, bring your opinions to the table. If you don't want to, you want to move on, bring your opinions as well to the table. And yeah, man, to discuss it with me today, we've got the regulars. Ash in the building. Ash, what are you telling them, man?
Yeah, easy, man. Nice to come off the back of a result, a win. It feels like, we've not been getting too many of them lately. So, I mean, the performance was horrendous, weren't it? But, we needed two penalties and all that. But other than that, life's good. Hope you're doing well and the chat's doing well and you enjoy the show, boys. Excited to get on with this evening. And to the boys, as always, a pleasure to reconvene on a Sunday, as we do, and get on with it.
Yeah, man. Flawless, what are you saying, man? Everything all blessed?
I'm all blessed, man. I'm all good. I can only echo what Ash says in regards to. I always look forward to the show all the time. It's a shame we got to talk about United, but like other than that, always look forward to the show because we just saying the same stuff. When lose or draw, it's the same problems, it's the same issues. There isn't really too much new to say, but yeah, big up for having me as always. And you lot, run up the likes, man. Run up the likes on the video right now before we get into the show.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Double A, what are you telling me, man?
Yeah, man. All blessed. Good to be back. Obviously, I have a week off last week due to work. Streaming with a bloody Liverpool fan for 4 or 5 hours, which was absolutely fantastic, as you can probably imagine. But no, it's good to be back. Obviously, the best way to finish off, start your week is the Unfiltered podcast here on Saeed TV. So make sure, like the guys have said, make sure you are smashing that like. Make sure you're subscribing to Saeed. Road to 100k is fully on. We have to get in there as quick as possible.
Yes.
The guy is working his fucking ass off and you should be supporting him. Yeah, man, big up to Ash.
Man.
Big up to Flawless. As always, it's good to be back with the boys. It's going to be a very laid back double A today because I feel like, I have to just say then what you just said about Ten Hag, right? He's frustrated. Bro, imagine paying to watch your shit football about frustrated, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my dog needing a bang, yeah, and he's got no balls. Imagine how frustrated he is, yeah. That's how I feel watching your shit.
Starting off the show hot, do you know what I mean?
Bro.
Laid back double A.
He's got a cheese. Yeah, laid back double A lasted 30 seconds.
Laid back double A. How do you think we feel watching your shit football, mate?
Bro.
You're double A, you're the best, man. I miss you like throughout my life.
Bro, I was calm until I heard Saeed say that. How fucking dare you say frustrated? Bro, I've been watching your oh man. The guy's cheeky, like how cheeky.
Nah, he's cheeky. It's Mr. Gaslight now. That's what I call him now. He gaslighting everyone, man. Yeah, what I mean, he's trying to lie to us, man. He's trying to lie to us. But before we get into all of that, did you watch the game today, man? Liverpool, Man City, man. Just a quick one on that one, like how far we're behind, man. Bro, that was a crazy game, man. Like Liverpool with them injuries still managed to play that sort of football.
Dispels this whole myth that you need your whole starting 11 and 500. They just played against Manchester City. Granted, City were very good in the first half, but second half they turned up. And look at that Liverpool side: Kelleher in goal, Bradley and Gomez as the fullbacks, Kwanzaa as the centre back, Endo in midfield, Harvey Elliott playing, Diaz playing. Players that our fan base, if we were linked to, would be an uproar. Look how many players I just named that they have missing, and yet they still went toe to toe with Man. And even if they would have lost the game, there's a way to lose football matches. And it's the same with City. We've discussed it before. There's no excuse for them when players are missing, when Stones is missing, or De Bruyne, or Haaland, or whoever else. Excuses. That's what it is. It's just pure excuses. If you're still Ten Hag in at this point, you just blinded. Love is blind.
Love is blind for real, man. Like I said, I was just watching that game thinking, damn, man. We're sitting back at home against Man City, man. I know, listen, we don't expect much here, but the way, like, don't even give yourself a little bit of, something to build on. And one thing, listen, we can talk about Jurgen Klopp and we can one Premier League trophy, but one thing about him is his endeavor, innit? The players play for them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that my United players don't play for him, but like there's an element of kind of like they play with pride and they play with that attacking sense, man. You know what I mean?
It's belief in the manager. They believe in what the manager is telling them and what they are working on week in, week out. Like someone, I don't know who it was, but I saw something about it's clear these players are still playing for him. They might be playing for him, but I don't think they believe an ounce of what the bullshit he's churning out on that training pitch week in, week out. Because I'll be honest, I've never been so bored at Old Trafford in the how many years I've been going to Old Trafford. Like I was, for the first time ever, I was thankful that you can get signal in Old Trafford because I was doing other things. Bro, it was shit. It was so bad. Bro, it was so bad.
Checking IKEA and that. Checking IKEA orders and that. You know what I mean?
Look, they just paying bills and stuff. Like, what's he doing tonight?
doing all my errands and that. Just like, yeah, calm, you know.
What have I got to do for the rest of the week?
The best thing about yesterday is I managed, and this is one of the errands, chasing my brother, managed to get Ben Godfrey's shirt from the game. That's literally the best thing.
Yeah, I've seen that. Fair play, man. Big up, man. Big up, man.
Obviously, cuts his hair and that, and then he just, well, he told me a little something. Apparently, like a funny story behind the he signed it for me and everything like that, so I should get it on Tuesday. But well, that's literally because I was watching, I was thinking, oh shit, it's Godfrey, innit? Trim looks good. Bro, did you word him up or what? And he was like, oh, I forgot. I was like, message you. I'll message you now before he leaves the ground, and then sent me a picture of the shirt. But like, it's one of them now. I'm just kind of, I've said it before. It's like vibes to the end of the season. I think I'm even past that. I'm just closing my eyes and hoping for the best every time. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, like, relationships dead. You do certain things to get just to pass the time. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm doing right now.
100%, man. Big up to Olu, who says not De Zerbi in, but Brighton has highest errors leading to a goal, which is clear because his style is suffering from player profiles and injuries. But I get it, but also the demand at Brighton is not the same as United, isn't it? You know what I mean? Let's be honest, man. Like, I don't personally want De Zerbi as manager. I do like his principles, but ultimately, like, you know, what they do and what Man United do is big, like, you know what I mean? You can't have a 3-0 loss and then it's okay. You know what I mean? Whereas Brighton, it can be okay. Or it can be tolerated a little bit, you know what I mean, more. Whereas United, you lose 3-0, broski, we're talking about that for a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely, it's end of the world. Like, you can't go like their record's awful. You can't go 2 months without a win at Manchester United. Go 2 games without a win at Manchester United and see the reaction.
2 games
and see the conversation. Like, never mind 2 or 3 months. And I think De Zerbi, I do agree with his comment. De Zerbi is a good manager. However, you mentioned it. The level of expectation and the scrutiny you are under at Manchester United is completely different to 99.9% of other clubs. And I've said it before about De Zerbi. I want a manager who's won something. The next manager, it doesn't have to be a major trophy. It can be a domestic cup somewhere in another European, in a top European country. It could even be a Europa League or Conference League, something. I don't want the pressure, the manager being under pressure here, and the first time he's going to win a trophy is at Manchester United. Win something somewhere else.
Yeah, De Zerbi's never felt that pressure. Never felt that pressure at Brighton. He's just not going to experience it at Brighton, is he? Do you know what I mean? You know, until he goes to a big club, we don't know what he's going to be like. You know, on a big stage. Going back to Liverpool for a second, look at Klopp with his targets as well. He was after Amrabat, after Mason Mount, settled for Endo and what's his name, McAllister. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it shows that the manager. We don't have your first choices. What do? You make use of it.
Endo, if we stand Endo now, he would have been on the bench. We got Amrabat. They wanted Amrabat. They're going to lie about it. But Klopp would have got better out of Amrabat than we do. I'm not trying to gas up Amrabat again because I know Trap's going to be in the comments and saying, "Oh, you gas up Amrabat."
Traps better not be in the comments after last night, bro. That show last night was
you heard him.
Me, bro.
Oh my god!
No, bro. All three of them you was on with me. You held it down because all three of them were talking the most smack and shit I've heard.
Wait. What did Trap say? What did he say? What I missed the show. What
he's going on about Varane. Yeah, Varane needs to get out straight away. Yeah, he's saying McTominay should fucking stay.
Yeah. But Varane, get a Varane out, he said.
The problem crazy. United fans mentality and how low the standards have gone.
We're finished. We're all concussed.
I ain't concussed.
Because
majority of Fanbase are concussed.
Yes.
We're all messed up in the head.
Yes.
We're all messed up in the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is fact.
I'm thinking clear. Listen, they can all fuck off. Like, I don't care anymore. Like,
fair.
And I said
you had a wobble for a moment, though, didn't you, Double A? You had a wobble for a moment where you're thinking, you was being a little bit harsh, and then you dialed it back a little bit.
Do you know what?
And I told you
did.
on that show, and we did the next week, and you was like, you thought you was being harsh. I'm like, you're being too harsh on yourself. Critique these man. The reason why you're being your criticism. What is there to be positive about?
You know, because it's like you're looking, thinking, shit. Why am I always so annoyed and pissed off and angry?
Yeah.
It's like, because these fucking idiots are making me feel like that. It's nothing I'm doing.
Exactly. You're trying to blame yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like abusive. You're looking at yourself. Why? You're the problem. Do you know what I mean? It's not you're the problem. It's them.
Yeah. Like something I'm doing. You're making. Am I doing something wrong? No, it's your fucking fuck ups, you pricks. But mate, like the most smack was coming out of that show, and I was, mate, bro, it's one of them where I was close to saying send me the link, because I thought I had to come in. And Cass normally talks a lot of sense. He was on the back of them all, yeah. And like, bro, the Casemiro shit and all that, like, bro, it's like these some of these fans will allow dog shit performances week in, week out for 7+ years. But when a world class, I'm not saying he's world class at the moment, but a world class player with a great record has a bit of a shit season, comes back from a big injury, yeah, like, and he's not allowed to feel his way back into a game, because if we were performing well and he was playing shit, you could probably allow him that. He'd probably get allowed that grace. Because we're playing shit and he's playing not so great, straight away he's done. Get him the fuck out. And the money's always brought up. Like I said it. I've said it to you before. If you're happy to get rid of Varane and Casemiro to keep McTominay and Maguire simply because Casemiro and Varane are on more money, you don't deserve to watch football, because you clearly don't understand what those two do for this team that the other two could never even imagine doing. So if you're happy to fuck those players off simply because of how much money they're on, you might as well call yourself Joe Glazer, because that's pretty much what they're doing. That's pretty much what they're doing.
100%.
And the thing is, since Casemiro's come back from the injury, because he was poor when he played at the start of the season, I think he was poor. I think since he's come back, he's not been great. I don't think he's been bad. And the record shows that, because I think minus the Manchester City game, every game he's completed 90 minutes, I don't think we've lost. It was even the Fulham game we lost. He came off, granted, he was poor in that game, but as he came off, he was worse. Like, I don't think people realize the importance of, even if Cass is playing, let's say he's playing average, that is still better than whatever else is out there. And as for the Varane stuff, what are we talking? Varane's actually played well this season.
Now, best defender all season.
Varane's been Varane to me has been our best player, period. Not even just the best defender. Like, what has what game did Varane play and we've all sat here and been like, yo, Varane was shocking today? I don't remember one.
Yeah, that's not.
I don't. And on this myth and the whole injury record, but he's been more available than Martinez. He's been more available than Luke Shaw. He's been more available than a lot of people. And even some of the games he's missed, he was on the bench because this foolish manager put him on the bench. Why are we getting rid of Varane? Oh, because of his age. So how come we don't say that for Bruno? I swear the man are like a year and a half apart.
Well, Maguire's older than Varane. It's all about the money.
Maguire's older, yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Is he older?
Bro, he's older than him. It's all about the money, bro. It's all about the money.
Van Dijk's older, as well. That shocked me. Van Dijk's older.
You know what? It shouldn't be based on money, though. It should be based on quality. United need to keep the quality in the squad. You know what I mean?
We have very little skill. So the little bit of skill we have, I hear it for, especially when it's performing well. Like Varane is, like for instance, everyone got on it about the signing. Johnny Evans for me. Should he be starting week in, week out? No. But like people are like, oh, we need to ship him out. Why? When he's asked to do a job, he performs well. He's not going to kick up a fuss about not playing first team.
Exactly.
Like, what are we? But let's keep Maguire and McTominay.
He's been professional.
Is that
man? Like, the only reason I use Maguire and McTominay is because they're players in the same positions, the midfield and defender, as Varane and Casemiro. You can throw Bruno in there, you can throw Rashford in there, you can throw. Let's be honest, you can throw a shitload of players in that. But these are two players that in the summer the manager wanted rid of, and somehow they now are the shining light of this Manchester United team because of their attitude to stay. No, it's not the shining attitude to stay and fight. They just don't want to leave the bubble that is Manchester United that they fucking love, because they're not going to get to play for a big club like Manchester United ever again. That is why they are here, because they've got it on easy street. They know for a fact that it was West Ham for both of them, right? What are West Ham doing this season? Fuck all. Yes, they won a trophy last season, but this season they're doing football. They're not going to another big club. So they know if they stay at Manchester United, they can dig their heels in because they've been given big fucking contracts and they're loved by every single coach because they're amazing in training. But when it comes to the pitch, they look like fucking under-9s. And that I apologise to all the under-9s watching because you probably are better footballers than both.
Hey, I go lie. I'd rather give the under-9s a run out.
100%.
Give the under-9s a run out.
It's just banging your head against the brick wall because this club forever is just being dragged down by the lowering of standards because someone's a passion merchant who comes in and scores a couple of. And I said it on the stream last night, and for some reason, Saeed just didn't want to read out any of my comments, whether he wasn't seeing them or not. I don't know, but I said like,
did you put comments on there?
Oh, I was commenting like a fucking madman. Like I was on it. I was on it.
I didn't even see it. I can't lie.
The ankle pain was obviously getting to your head, mate.
Yeah, man.
I was saying, especially about because obviously with the whole McTominay thing about him being happy to be a squad player and this nonsense, right? Bro, certain fans are using those 2 goals against Brentford as if it was Ola in Barcelona, mate, because they're acting like it's last season. Where would you be without him? I'm sure we would have managed without McTominay and a couple of goals. And do you know what? If we didn't, like, and this sounds a strange.
No, it's shit and shit. But we're not going to go anywhere anyway. Where are we going to go?
Yeah,
we're 8 points behind Aston Villa. We're 6 behind Tottenham. Come on, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean, bro? We're not.
Where would we be without him? Where would we be without him? In the mud, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Still in the trenches. Do you know what I mean?
I'm saying we still in the trenches. Like it might just be nice. I like slightly nicer trench, but it's still a trench.
Absolutely.
What we
the team who want to win the league's on the top of the league, mate. The team who I want to win the league over United, not over United. That's a stranger thing. Over City and
over United. one day we'll be in the title race.
Imagine I come out here, man. I'd rather Arsenal win the league than Ten Hag's United.
Yeah, of course, man, 100%. You know what, Ash, you're gonna say something there before we talk.
Yeah. The thing is about the Casemiro and Varane. They got credit in the bank. Maguire and McTominay never had credit. Do you know what I mean? Those boys are on Klarna. Do you know what I mean? That's all they've got. They've got nothing. They've got nothing. They're offering nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Klarna.
They've never shown. Never like. They've never offered us anything. Okay, there's a couple of goals here and there against Brentford and stuff like that, but Maguire's been a liability for a while, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? You know, Varane's easily... put it this way, how many of those stinking performances we had from Maguire? We're expecting it once a month. Maguire had a terrible game. We'd never see it. I think it was Double A, Flawless, who said it, that we just don't see bad performances. We're never talking about bad performances from Varane and stuff. And those boys, they've got credit in the bank and more than credit. They've got experience. They've got experience to lead players coming into the dressing room. You know, what do you want to do with Maguire and McTominay? What are they adding to the dressing room? What kind of experience? What on the training ground? They're offering nothing, and they're offering nothing to the likes of Brailsford and Barada and kind of those kind of conversations that these players, you've seen Varane win World Cups, you've seen them at Real Madrid, they know what it takes to be in a big squad, in a winning squad, in a winning environment, and those boys, they understand it and they get what it takes. So yeah, those boys, credit, they've got credit in the bank. So and you're looking at Casemiro anyway. Casemiro, he had a poor performance against Everton, but I think he was more bringing the ball out. I think defensively it wasn't too bad. No. You know, defensively and kind of holding the ball, you know, breaking the play. I don't think he was too bad at that. It was just his passing was horrendous. And we're fine to say it. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with saying it. It's not like we're not saying it.
First half he was shit, but I think for second half he improved greatly.
Second half, yeah.
But do you know what that is?
Always the case.
That's his class, because I guarantee you, a lot of these players, when they start to have a stinker, they can't turn it around. They can't do what Casemiro can do and actually put in a half decent. I'm not saying he was man of the match, not saying he was fantastic, but you know, he managed to turn it around because he's got the class to do so. You know, even giving a pitch invader his shirt, he oozes class.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Like, I don't know if you know or you saw it. Obviously,
I didn't notice.
It was over on my side.
It runs over. Like, they're all trying to stop him. So Casemiro gives him the shirt, and it's just like, yeah, mate, you might as well have it because you're never getting back in Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean? So
no, fair play to the kid, man.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, Ash gave him too much credit when he's mentioned Klarna. These men are in debt. You know what I'm saying? That's what they are. They are in debt. Like, we've bailiffs coming for everything. These men are severely in debt. Like, I don't know, whatever one it is, chapter 11, chapter 7, where they come in to take everything, that is those severely in debt.
Yo, pay and we'll take it away.
Oh, I said I'm sure
pay and we'll take it away
last week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. Listen, people, there's 900 in the building. Make sure you don't like the video, people, man. Let's get them likes up to 500 likes ASAP. Get your questions in if you want to discuss things and whatnot. Become a member if you can do as well. But let's get into the nitty gritty of the topics today. Some news that came out from the Mirror. This journalist normally is quite close to like United and Ten Hag, and basically came out with some reports saying that Eric Ten Hag may walk away from the Man United job this summer if he's not given assurances by the club the power he will be given. That was one side of the story, and then another side of the story was links to Ajax as well. Basically, Ajax have drawn up a list of managerial targets that includes Man United boss Eric Ten Hag and Liverpool assistant Pep Linders. Sources close to Ajax have confirmed that Cruz has not ruled out offering Ten Hag an escape route out of Old Trafford. Oh shit! So, what are you not making of that, man? Big up before we carry on. Big up to Andy Wallace. Imagine if Brighton were not selling club and De Zerbi had Basuma, Trossard, Caicedo, McAllister, and Ben White. He would have these men in top four easily. Brighton are not supposed to be in the Europa League. I agree with that. They punch you above their weight, Adiwale, and they're a selling club. And when you're a selling club, you then have to manage your expectations. This is why I always say I rate De Zerbi in some aspects, but then I'm also like, yo, them results as well are very, very bad. Like when he gets beaten, he doesn't know how to go back into kind of almost stable mode. So that's why I would say is in that regard. But going back to that, man, you know what I mean? Listen, I would offer him a easy jet flight to Amsterdam, man. We can all chip in. Everyone get him a flight back. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But
we need to be discussing. We need to
on the channel tunnel.
Man said escape route. Well, I'll hold the door open for you. I will escort you. I will personally escort you.
You know what we need?
We
need to be discussing right now. We need to be discussing how they buy out the contract. Do you know what I mean? Because that's an issue with us getting rid of him in the top four. That should be done right now. That should something we should be talking about. Them taking over that contract, which then opens us and frees us for the summer. Do you know what I mean? That's something. If they're even hinting at the idea of bringing Eric Ten Hag back, we should be sending man over there. Do you know what I mean? And go and get that deal secured.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not like you're not familiar over there. Your old house might be available. Like you don't have to settle.
Give him back Donny van der Beek.
Bro,
just take Anthony with you too. There you go.
Anthony. Yeah.
You know, like Saeed says, like the reporter does seem to have links into United through the Ten Hag side. He has done it since he's come into the club. And again, it goes back to what I said about him being frustrated. It's the absolute gall that you can try and hold Manchester United to ransom and to give us an ultimatum when you've failed at your job. Oh, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like me being a bin man and just not bothering to pick up any of the bins and leaving them and then going, do you know what? I think I deserve a pay rise to my boss. He goes, but you don't take out the trash, you don't do nothing. Yeah, but still, I still think I deserve a pay rise. I'm here, I'm turning up, I'm doing something. It's like, who do you think? Your boss is gonna laugh at you and walk out, and say, "Don't piss off, get out, go and do some work." Actually, show that you can take out the trash. Actually, show that you can do a bit of what we're paying for you to do, and then we may pay you in kind and look at it that way. But it all goes back to, and we knew this, and we've said it so many times on here. He's a stubborn man, and I think from day one that INEOS it looked like it was going to be them, and this whole structure they were going to bring in that they were saying that they will wrestle that veto power and that power away from him. And could that be a sticking point with this manager? And if, it's coming out clearly that it's going to be. So, again, it's similar to the players. I do not, if you don't want to be here and you don't want to work under the conditions that they're giving to you, just fuck off. Because at the end of the day, when you look at this season, have you done enough to stay for another season? And we talk about talent ID, we talk about attitude, we talk about what we're seeing week in, week out, and it's nowhere near good enough. Bro, to walk out of Old Trafford after a 2-0 win against a team that we sometimes used to struggle against, and just to be like, I didn't even think about it. I spoke to Adam after, did a quick thing, and then I was like, walked to my car and just forgot about the whole game. Like it just didn't matter or mean anything. How have I got to a point watching Manchester United that games mean nothing?
Don't mean anything.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Mean nothing. And it's not.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
It doesn't mean that there's nothing. There's nothing to gain from it or no jeopardy. It's not a big game or a top six, or a title decided. I don't mean that or like a semi-final. I just mean it just it just doesn't matter at all, because at the end of the day, I don't expect any different from this team or this team under this manager. And the players have to hold accountability. I absolutely agree with that. And when people say, well, you want him out, but look at all these players, I hate them all. Let's be honest, I can't stand any of them at the moment. They're just all pissing me off. I just can't be asked of any of them. And that's, and I go because I love my club and I want my club to be the best it can be. It's just not going to happen under Erik ten Hag.
It's an empty feeling, man.
You know the crazy
it's
part
empty
is,
feeling.
We 27.5 minutes in, and Double A said at the very start, the calm Double A today.
That's they love calm with United, man. They break
calm
you, man.
Double A. That's what he said.
United does see, innit?
So what to be
United does see, man.
No, but I hear you in regards to like the games don't matter. Like I didn't want to watch the game. I don't want to talk about it. I'd rather we were here talking about
shout out to the Americans, man, and the Australians, man. Waking up at that time.
Because I do it. Shout out to my guy Eddie. Shout out to my guy Sheik. I do the watch-alongs with them. They over on West Coast time, so they wake it up early for these games. And I told them, I said, if you man don't want to wake up for these games, trust me, I fully understand. It's cool. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna hold it against you whatsoever. Like I don't want to wake up and do these. I don't, even when we're late, it's a 5:30 kick. I don't want to watch us. That's how bad it is. Like it's just awful. Like the way they talking about it, it means nothing because we know it's not sustainable. We know it's not gonna lead to anything, win, lose, or draw. Like, all right, let's say somehow it's a miracle we reach top 4. Are we going to do anything with the squad and this manager next season? Or is it just the same cycle until things change on and off the pitch? And Double A's right when he talks about the players. People are like, oh, it's the same players. No, it's not. It's not the same players. Because if that's the case, where's the money that's been... Everybody who is here, Ten Hag has signed or co-signed by either giving them a contract or saying your mind. If you make someone a captain, guess what? That's your guy. If you give someone a big new deal or give someone a new deal, that's your guy. And people will say, oh, well, contracts are being offered to players that he doesn't want. Nonsense. If that's the case, leave. If players are being offered contracts that you don't want to be given contracts usually because you do not want to keep them, then leave. We all watched him in the summer take the contract away from De Gea, which I believe was the correct move. So he has power. But people want to make excuses. It's not, it's the same players. No, it's not. We spent 400 million or whatever, no, for 300 million. What are we talking about here? That's all them players out there. That's his team.
And you know why I say all of them, right? Because I'm sick of this whole...
I'm with you on that.
But respect the low. Oh, respect this. No, listen, it's the team. The team as a collective have failed. All of them, just put them all together. Don't fucking dissect it and say, well, Delow's doing okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, he still can't cross the ball for shit. He still tries to fucking shoot top fucking screamers all the time. He's still defensively a bit fucking lax. So let's not go on as if he's fucking Cafu, because he's clearly not, right? But as I've gone on like I'm an agenda on him.
Cool, man. It's cool, man. Get it off your chest. We here for you, man. Double A. Hold the microphone. Get it off your chest.
He will keep his consistency about
get it off your chest, man. This is the content. This is the content. This is what we here for.
I am now. It's the all together in it, and I have to be all together in it. So it doesn't matter if, again, Højlund, I love the kid, but he's part of the team. So if the team are not performing to the level required, they deserve criticism, because it's the team game. It's an absolute team game. So that's why I'm pissed off.
But who's managing the team? Come on, Double A. Exactly. I mean,
when I say manager and the team, when I say manager and the team, it's everyone. I'm not just saying, like, because I'm sick of this whole, the team stink. But don't forget about Dalot. And we just praise Varane, absolutely, because I think he has been fantastic. He's still part of the team. The team have failed. We are nowhere near where we need to be. So for me, the team stinks. That's it.
I'm with you on that. My guy Eddie says it all the time, man. ACGI, anybody can get it. Get rid of everybody. I've been saying this for the longest. That's players, that's coaching staff, managers, and everybody. I'm saying from the owners all the way to the receptionists and the stewards. Like, I'm tired of everybody, because it's just failure all around. Get rid, even the chefs. You know what I'm saying? Serving raw chicken. We can't even get it right in the kitchen. How are you serving raw chicken? How?
Bro.
How? You know nobody, none of those chefs tell. Oh, hey, you know what? This chicken, we should put it back on the oven. Put it back in the oven. Put it back on the stove. Nobody
there's more kitchen, you know what I mean, chefing than there is on the pitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what I would say, man. And that's still raw. You know what I mean? So what are we, man? But you know what it is, yeah? Have you noticed, like, the manager's kind of, like, attitude has changed, man? He looks a bit more rattled now. Like, he's talking about things like, stats now more than ever. Like, press conferences, like, he's talking about, we're in the right direction now. You know what I mean? He's talking about things that
he knows he's in the end game. He knows he's in the end game, doesn't he? He knows it's like this.
Like you can see, like, you know, he's in his end game. Man's talking about stats and XG.
He's talking about XG against Everton at home.
Bro,
You are battling relegation. And he's talking about Sean Dyche's Everton at home, talking about we had a better XG. But this is what happens when someone panics. And it's just, and there's nothing there, because there's nothing actual substantial and nothing good to back up his claims. You then just have to make things up. And it just ties into the whole panicking thing that I've been speaking about for months. That's now all of a sudden you want to talk about XG. When you first got here, it was errors come to an end. Now it's like, all right, we can maybe finish 5th. No, it's the difference. No, it's the shift. 5th is the aim. If obviously Arsenal or City get to the champs, and it's like, all right, fifth, you know.
Bro, we've all watched the Fulham, Forest, City, and Everton game, right? For him, again, cheek, the balls to say those 4 performances were good, and he came out of all 4 of them and said they were good performances. Go exactly what Ash said. End game, he's saving his fucking neck because he knows he can't watch that and think, you know what, the boys did me good today. Boys did me. He's a fucking liar.
Well, if he does,
he's a grifter.
What he does though.
He's a grifter. He's just trying to hold on to his job, and you know what? I can't blame him because he's just trying to hold on to his job. You know, he scammed his way into you know, the biggest job in his world, and he's been trying to hold on to it ever since. Do you know what I mean? And off the back of that Real Madrid performance, and you know, doing well against Groningen and fucking Heerenveen in the Dutch league, like not, you know.
No. I can't. He didn't grift his way into the job, mate. Come on, because. No, Ajax managers, you know, let's be honest. Like,
listen, Frank de Boer's come over here saying these Dutch managers come to England.
He's been linked with. There's rumors about City looking at him. There was rumors about Liverpool looking at him. There was rumors that this.
Listen, I wanted him.
He was up and coming. Yeah, he was the up and coming, mate. He was the.
But that's what makes it even more sad.
We got scammed.
That makes the whole story.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He already says it. He got scammed. Like he said, he's been catfished. You know what I mean? A lot of people said this. You know what I mean? He has been catfished because, like I said,
that's what it is, isn't it?
He thinks
he had a nice team as well.
Yeah, we did get catfish, man. Them filters fooled us, man. The filters.
Well, you know what it was? It was the lick to the
from the air. Yeah, man, they fooled us.
It was the lick to the back. It was De Jong in the middle. Do you know what I mean? It was Ziyech and Tadic having seasons of the live. Do you know what I mean? He had a decent team around him, and you know, he built upon the Ajax system, the Ajax structure of great youth players. And unfortunately, his press, which worked in the Dutch league, works against like the Groningen and Wien, ADO Den Haag, the rest, Go Ahead Eagles, and all these boys. That press doesn't work in a top class, you know, league against some of the best players, international players. This playing out the back against those bums in the Dutch league. Do you know what I mean? You can play out the back and, you know, make 5 or 6 passes. You can't at Manchester United. In the Premier League, we saw against Fulham that what was so frustrating against Fulham, they outplayed us. Marco Silva's Fulham outplayed us at Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean? We could not string any passes out of the back. Fulham, 1-2 passes, they were in behind, creating chances. We dominated that game. We were dominated, and that's all we've seen from tonight. We've never really seen him have a big performance in a big game, and all these performances against small teams. It's not like, you know, we're blowing Everton away, we're blowing these teams away, we're blowing Nottingham Forest away, we're blowing Fulham away. We're kind of hanging on, we're clinging on, we're somehow getting a result. We're relying on penalties, do you know what I mean, to get a win. There's nothing that says that this manager is able or was capable of showing what he apparently showed in the Dutch league. So for me, he's a grifter and he's holding on to his job, and I can't blame him for it. For me, it's the fans who say give him 2 more years. He needs a better squad. It's the structure. It's this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? Because what is it about the structure that's causing him a problem to get the team playing together? What is it about the structure that's making these horrendous substitutions week in, week out? Do you know what I mean? Like the training grounds, it's a decent training ground. It's not horrendous. It's still one of the, you know, top 5 of each league around the world. You know, the grass is green at Old Trafford. It's not a slanted pitch. Do you know what I mean? There's no excuse. These like mad excuses of all structure and all.
One thing we have beautiful. We don't have a good stadium. We don't have a good stadium, yeah. But Old Trafford is actually a beautiful pitch. Like it's not, you know, it's not. You know what I mean? Like it's actually a good pitch to play football.
And it is excuses in regards to when people talk about the structure. Is it at fault for some of the things that have gone on in regards to the summer windows and January windows? Absolutely. But having being a cohesive unit is nothing to do with structure. Being outplayed, you mentioned being outplayed by Fulham without their best player, by the way, at Old Trafford is nothing to do with structure. Be having a minus goal, oh no, we're back to 0. But having a 0 goal difference on the 10th of March is nothing to do with structure. I'll say struggling to score goals. When we scored, is it 39 goals we've scored in like 28 games? So we're on course to score less than the 50. That's nothing to do with structure, because there's teams who don't have great attacking players who not only create more chances than us, will score more goals than us. That's what it is. And in regards to him holding on to the job, because you mentioned it there, Ash, what I would say about that is, how do I say? What I'd say about that is, does he not care about his reputation? Because his reputation is in tatters, and the longer you stay here and the longer it goes and the longer you continue to perform poorly, it's going to be even more tougher for you to get a big job. Because it might return a point where Ajax go, you know what, we don't even want you back. It might get
he's doing the best he can do, though.
Lower. Yeah,
I think he's doing the best he can do in it. That's
sometimes it. You need to be self-aware and go, you know what, I'm not ready for this job. Let me save myself, rebuild, and come back.
Bro, he's
self-awareness.
He's chilling with Tweedledum and Tweedledee in Alice in Wonderland, bro. He thinks he's doing a good job, though. He clearly thinks he's doing the best job he can do. So when you're that deluded and you're living in the clouds, you don't think he's doing anything wrong. So
he thinks he deserves the right to make signings. Do you know what I mean? He's frustrated that he's not got the right to continue making these horrendous signings he's been making. What world is he living in? Do you know what I mean? It's madness.
And then he wants veto.
Big up to Freddie.
More power. Fuck that.
I literally,
big up Freddie.
Literally spoke about this just before on this very show about 10 minutes ago. But yeah, go on, Saeed.
Yeah, big up Freddie. Everything else on blame should be gone in the year, but the squad is still terrible. We still have players here 7-8 years. I think even Klopp and Pep will struggle with his squad.
The squad is terrible due to the manager, because everybody who is here, he co-signed. Whether he signed them, whether he gave them a new deal, or in Bruno's instance, he gave them captaincy. And on the flip side as well, which we've seen with Ten Hag, if you have a player at your club who you do not want to play, guess what? As the manager, you do not have to play them. Despite their profile, despite the number on the back, despite their wage. We've seen it with Sancho. As I remember, like, people will try and forget now and act like that wasn't a conversation. But we can't get rid of Sancho because of how much we paid for him and how much money he's on. So how come Sancho's currently in Germany then? How come Sancho wasn't playing? Because the manager did not want to play him. Same with De Gea, who was on big money. He decided, no, De Gea is not the guy. So in regards to, I agree the squad is not good enough. That is the one thing with this comment I 110% agree with. However, the manager is partly responsible for that. Who is here that he doesn't want to be here? What are we talking about here? Exactly. Mason Mount's his signing, who he gave the number 7 to. What are we talking about?
Mount, man.
Just all these, come back on that.
Some people tried to get behind. It was horrendous from the start.
Saying
some of these players, one of the major reasons I no longer can back this manager is because he doesn't even believe in himself. He's dropped all his principles, whether that's to stay in the job. If you think back last season, his first season, didn't want Maguire at the club. What did Maguire do? Barely played fuck all games. Semi-final FA Cup, barely fucking played. Didn't want the player at the club. Clearly, club wouldn't or couldn't sell him. Same McTominay, we believed, wasn't going to play, wasn't going to start. He is now banking on this fucking fraud of a football player to save his neck every single game, playing him false 9, bringing him on every opportunity to try and score him a winner. Like, where is his whole, and let's call it, and I've called these players out for, or called him out, or called the players out over them. I'm not saying I'm backing the players now that he's, but Ronaldo didn't like it, kicked Ronaldo out of the club, kicked Sancho out of the club. Rightly or wrongly, that's not the point I'm getting at. But he's clearly done things to get players he no longer wants out of the club. Yet McTominay didn't want him, was happy to take any bit of money for him to go and buy whoever else he wanted, probably Amrabat on a full contract. Now it can't get out of the team. It's so much so that he's dropping his £90 million signing to play him ahead of him. Like, but he's just dropped all principles and all his own standards just to whatever reason. Like I've said before, he's lost, scrambling. He's in a maze trying to find his way out. I can't back at someone who's so weak. Like, even Mourinho would never have dropped. He would never have done any of this. And I'm not saying I want Mourinho back, but Mourinho was so. See what he did to Pogba. And we all saw the video of the training ground. He was having none of it. He said, "Fuck you. I'm the boss. I don't care." And he was going to get. He wanted them both out. He wanted Martial. He wanted.
It's a Rooney as well, didn't he?
Rumours he wanted Rashford out. So he wanted play because he said recently in it, these players that are still playing for the club that I wanted gone, and I told to the club I want gone. They're still here, and that's 5-6 years later. So You can't tell me that a manager who will just willy-nilly doesn't want these players, but yet will consistently play them all the time.
And that's it, Double A, because he didn't want McTominay last year. So guess what? The reason why McTominay was not a topic of discussion last season is because we barely seen him. Maguire was 5th choice centre-back and he stripped him of the captaincy.
Yep.
So you don't have to, just because a player is at your football club does not mean you have to play them. And he proved that himself last year. There's so many players. I don't know how many starts McTominay got last season, but I guarantee you it wasn't a lot. Same with Maguire as well. We all watch Luke Shaw play ahead of him as a left-sided centre-back. We all watch Varane and Martinez play ahead of him as well. Lindelof played ahead of him. The manager made it crystal clear that he didn't want to play them. Even not so, why not do that again this season? And then eventually, you know what will happen? Either those players' contracts will run down or they'll kick up a fuss and go, I want to be playing football. Let me leave. Well, now you're here banking on these players like Double A as mentioned. So I'm making excuses. Yes, the squad is terrible. I am not backing any of these players and they need to be gone. But the manager has enabled these, man. I hate when people talk about player power, player power. You know who gives the players the power? The manager. Because he has the power to not play them. Then what power do you have? What power does Sancho have? When people are talking about player power, why is he in Dortmund right now? Why is Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Why was Maguire stripped of captaincy? Why has Rashford been dropped? Anthony's £90 million signing has also been dropped. Why has Varane been dropped? Why has Casemiro been dropped? So the manager can choose to drop who he wants. You're the owner of a company and you can't fire who you want. Whatever.
All your wingers are misfiring. Yeah, a kid who's I'll come back to Ahmad every time. Kid, all your wingers are misfiring and shit, and even most of your forward players. Young kid who's cut his teeth in the league was expected big things of this season. You've took a season off his career because yes, he had the injury. When he comes back, and you're putting a kid ahead of him who no one gives a fuck about. Let's be honest, Amari forcing. Yeah, a young player. Yes, I understand that, but no one was giving a shit about him.
That was brutal. That was brutal. But it's true, though. But it's brutal. It's true, but brutal.
No one cared about him until the stories came out that he turned down a contract. Who gives a fuck about him?
Yeah, I know. It's true. It's true. It's true.
We really getting held to ransom by forcing.
Yeah, but now you're picking this kid.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah.
Fuck it, mate.
He ain't got no star quality. You know, someone said yesterday, Double A. The only minutes Ahmad is getting now is on TikTok when he's doing them little TikTok videos with Kobe Maino and
bro, it's mad, you know.
And did you see that video, by the way? He made some TikTok video yesterday, and they were saying that's the only time he's getting. I was like, you guys are nasty, man. You guys are nasty. Oh my days, man. Big up to this super chat here, man. Top says, Saeed, you complain about everything, but you don't give solutions. Meanwhile, Rashford, Maguire, and Shaw McTominay is destroying the club. Well, Flawless has just said it right now. You choose to play these players. So, I mean, if you don't like him,
we always give solutions. We consistently give solutions. Don't play Rashford, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay. That's a start. Go back to what you did last season because you know what? It worked to an extent. And you don't need the best players. I say this all the time to be a cohesive unit. Yes, we don't necessarily want to see defensive counter-attacking football, but sometimes you have to utilize what you have. We do not have the players to play expansive, technical possession, keep ball, tiki-taka, beautiful ball. We don't, unfortunately. So you know what? Go back to last season. Like I say, man, dress for the body you have, not the body you want. That's what we need to do. In layman's terms, that's legit it. Like, what are we talking about here in regards to solutions? That's what annoys me and frustrates me even more about Ten Hag is I watch you do more with less last season. Because on paper, I think the squad is better this season than it is last season, but you're getting worse results. And it's not a slight drop off. It's not from a 7 out of 10 to a 6. It's from a 7 to a minus, pick a number. Like, that's where the drop off is. Like, off a cliff. Like everything and everybody and every individual. Like there's not one individual you point to and go,
shit.
Yeah, he's improved.
Did he?
What are you talking about?
Did he delete it? To be fair, he deletes it sometimes anyway, to be fair. Let me just see that. I don't know if that's true. Let me see here.
Imagine he has. Mate,
yeah, he did, you know. Shit. Rah. He put his Sunderland ones back up.
Oh.
Shit. Bro,
he did it. He's done it. He's
really
done
happy. Yo, big up. I didn't even know that, you know.
The thing is with this manager, yeah, like people were raving that he's come from the Ajax way, the youth. This manager doesn't care about youth players unless he has discovered them or he has brought them into the Garnacho. They claim is his. Mainu is now his. Forsen, Omboala. They're all getting minutes ahead of young players that are already here that we're expecting. Like, listen, I always mention it, and it needs listening to because it's a fact.
Yeah.
Pellistri was starting for a national team at the World Cup that are not mugs. They might not be the best in the world, but he's starting consistently in the World Cup. And let's be honest, the biggest football tournament in the world. He's starting ahead of, and they're given the number 8 shirt. This kid is rated by his national team. How in an unperforming Manchester United team with Anthony, who stinks up the gaff pretty much every time he gets on the ball, he can't get minutes over him. How is it not? Because the manager doesn't like him. It's not his signing, and it can't be because of the training thing. People say, well, he might not perform in training. It's like, well, what goes on in training? Because fucking McTominay starts. So it's either McTominay is like Zidane in training, or it's a case of I just prefer him, and it's just one of those. Oh, I have to play him. Like, you need to be fair. And we've said it before. Use your squad, and if your squad's too big, you trim it down. But what you can't do is stop players going on loan in the summer, then go in loan in January, because you just wasted 5-6 months of his career, and that is not fair. And someone said in the chat then about obviously what you were saying about player power comes from the manager. We saw that this season. He's allowed Onana to not only fuck up a country's African Cup of Nations, but then he's also had the effect now that the backup keeper wants to go.
Bayindir wants to leave. That's fair.
The manager's allowed Onana to run amok and do whatever the fuck he wants. Leave when he wants. Come back when he wants. I'll stay and play in a couple of games. No, the manager said, no, fuck off, because you need to go and play for your country. I've got a backup here that I've chased before, but when you first left Ajax or wanted him at Ajax, let him have some games. And it's just these constant fuck-ups, not only on the pitch, but it's clearly he's allowed this festering mentality that the players don't like. It's as simple as that. The players cannot like this manager.
You know what it is here? I think you know what's mad about this here? You know, we talked about like the vibes, yeah. Like, it's not even, we're never gonna get vibes here in the season, you know, guys, man. I'll be honest with you, like, that's what I thought. You know what it is here? You know when you end on a high, man. I wanted him to score and end on a high, man. Like, yo, listen, end on a high. INEOS make the decision this summer. Don't let it go to this kind of way, because the fan base now, it's like you can see like the division, the fan base, like people want to keep him, people don't want to keep him, people want to, you know, do this and whatnot. And then you got players as well, you know, I mean, the division of players, you know, like you want to be able to, like, you know, like all your players, like Arsenal, they don't really have division with their players. Yeah, you might have some, you get me, that you don't, you know what I mean, Man City, Liverpool, you don't see them guys going and like,
because,
you know,
because everything's comfy when you win inside. That's why. When you're winning games, it's like that. Even if let's say there is a divide and players don't get on, the players don't care and the fans don't care. Do you perform on the football pitch? Like, that's all that matters. But when you are losing games and the vibe is awake, that's when these things are then magnified and things of this nature.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Like, vibe. The vibe is awake. That's what it is. There ain't no vibes here. That's why I want him gone, because it would just give everybody a lift. Ash mentioned it before about the toxic relationship. That's what I feel I'm in. But I'm in a toxic relationship I can't get out of. It's like, oh, I just want to be, we just want to be free. Just, I don't care who the interim is from now to the end of the season. Just get him gone to give us something new, because we know what we're getting. And it's just awful, awful, awful. Week in, week out. We can't even enjoy wins. That's how bad it's got.
That's crazy, man. You know what I mean? You know, yesterday, again in the Instagram comments, man,
wins.
you follow me on Instagram.
Say I was there, watched the game, got to my car and forgot about the match.
Yeah. Big up Aduali says the favourite players, Bruno, Shaw, Maguire, are here because of the fans hated on the actual good players, Pogba, Sancho, Martial, Casemiro. The fan base don't deserve nice things. You know, one thing that's going to be clear is that INEOS have got to come in and make clear, like, who stays and who goes. And then also let people know why they stayed and why they're going as well. You know what? Like, be serious, you know. Omar Berrado has got to come in here and tell people why they're staying, why they are leaving. I want him to come out, you know. You know how I did in the City documentary? Yeah, that player there, Stones, he's got a couple of years left his contract, he's of value. This guy won't get game time, etc., etc. Like, yo, like, genuinely, man, like, I want them to explain it, because I feel like it helps the fan base understand them. Will they do it? It's a different question. I don't think personally they'll do it, but I would love them to explain why ex-players leaving, ex-players staying. You know what I mean? Like, and whatnot. Like, let us know. I think that would be so beneficial to then the new structure coming in. And it happened in the walls. I would love it. Honestly, I would love it.
I fully agree with what you're saying there in regards to Omar Berrada's got tough decisions to make and make him. And I say this all the time: don't pay attention to fans. They should be paying no attention. How about you lot are paid extremely well to do whatever the job is. So whether that's COO, CEO, you're a technical director, a scout, the manager, forget what the fans want. Like someone mentioned, even running jokes in the comments that you put up before, I was like, oh, Ten Hag probably watches content creators. Don't worry about us. If you win, we'll be happy and you'll get all the praise you'll want to watch. How about you be successful? That should be your number one goal and only focus. Forget all the outside noise. Forget what fans want. Because if fans were in control of Manchester United, we'd be in League 2 within 3 seasons. How about you concentrate on being successful? Because we're and I include myself in that. One, we're not qualified. And number 2, we're emotionally attached. So the fact that people want to keep the lights of Scott McTominay tells you all you need to know. Love can blind you. And it's especially with Manchester, especially with people in their football club as well, because they love it so much. So how about you do your job, be successful, and we'll be over the moon. Bring trophies to the win a Premier League title, we'll be over the moon.
You know what, though? We've got to be prepared that we're not going to get rid of a lot of these players. We're going to be stuck with them in the summer again, because if we get a manager in the summer, he's going to want to look at these players and kind of see him on the training ground. You know what I mean? And that's going to be the frustration about it. Last season, like just to set double A, last season, we was expecting a massive clear out. We expect a massive clear out almost every summer, don't we? Do you know what I mean? And what did we get rid of? Fred. That was about it. You know, we was expecting Maguire to be gone, McTominay to gone. None of them left. So I feel like it's going to be one of those where we're stuck with a manager who wants to look at these players until next January, and then we might just see a bit of a clear out. That's why I've been saying on the show a few times now that if we get a manager in now, if we get the guy that we want in right now, he can assess them toward the end of the season, see who's with him, and see who he can kind of like get a tune out of some of them, and then go into the summer, clear out what he wants, clear out who he wants or needs to clear out, and then buy the players and buy his replacements. But it feels like this is going to be a summer where we're still going to be frustrated again. I feel like it's going to be one where we're waiting for January next season and potentially the window even after. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, 2 points there. I didn't mean to cut you off, Asher, or anything like that, but like 2 points there. So the first one with the players that would, if a new manager came in now, the problem with that is he says he'll assess them. We saw what happened, Volley. New manager bound, so these players will start to perk up and think, shit, I've got to fight for my future now. So then they start to play well, and then it's a case of, oh no, he does a job for me. So it's again the falsifying the manager or blinding the manager, or pulling the wool over managers' eyes, showing up, and he thinks, oh, I'll keep him for a bit, and then we see again in a couple of months' time next season the shit again. So what needs to happen? This is what I think Saeed's saying, especially with Barada coming in, is they need to tell, if there is a new manager coming, so say Ten Hag goes, new manager comes in, Barada and Ashworth, whoever the fuck it is that is this new structure, need to say to the manager, listen, this is the squad of players you've got. These are going. These have been here for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, nearly 10 years, some of them. They are going. We've had enough of them. There's no value in them anymore. We need to move these players on, and that is the core you're working with. This is your transfer budget, and we'll get you the players you need to fill in the gaps on that. But these are going, and this is what needs to happen. We can't allow this constant, oh, well, let me just have a look at them, because we say the new manager bounce, like Ollie got a job.
Exactly. They all play well for the new manager. Exactly.
Yeah, and it shouldn't, because to me, it shouldn't be, let me have a look at them. This ties into, again, to what we've been speaking about, style of play. Yeah. What it should be is, whoever the new manager is, what players fit his style of play. Forget the quality of the player. What player fits, even if it's he can perform average in this. And then the players who don't fit the style of play, they get shifted on. That's why
I low-key want a manager. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. That's why I low-key, like, as bad as it sounds, if De Zerbi came in, he would get rid of a lot of these players because it wouldn't fit his style. That's why low-key, I want De Zerbi, but I don't want De Zerbi, because I'm like, I want De Zerbi because I feel like these players would be found out in his system. But then I don't want him because then I know if it does go to shits, you know what I mean? It's not going to be good.
You say,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's with, if Barada and the hierarchy do their job properly, that's insert manager name here. So forget what the style is. It's a clear start. This is the way we are going forward as a club, even beyond this manager. So let's say this manager is here 3 years and it's not good enough. It's still a group of players who can play a certain type of way. So that it shouldn't be, all right, you get a chance. No, you do not fit the style I'm trying. Ange Postecoglou, for example, at Spurs, he didn't give Eric Dyer a chance. You don't fit how I'm trying to play. Therefore, you do not play. And he didn't play until he ended up at Bayern Munich. That's what it should be. So it's like clear style. This is the group of players who can fit this style. These are the players who can't move them on. These are the players we recruit. And then even the players you've kept for said style, you then look to improve on them in January, the summer after, the summer after. And then even if it doesn't work with the new manager, you bring in a manager who has a similar style and he can use these players. I talk about it all the time about being able to, we need to be able to identify what a Manchester United player is. So we can look at a player and go, he fits what we got. We can all identify a Manchester City player, a Liverpool player. We just played Everton. As limited as they are, I could tell you a Sean Dyche player.
Bro, but you know what? It's mad how a Sean Dyche manager who isn't that great can make an Everton team who, like, let's be honest, apart from Onana and maybe a couple of others, we're not taking majority of their team, but makes them still look good. It's crazy.
Crazy shots at Old Trafford again.
Cohesive unit, crazy. Cohesive unit. That's what they look like. You know what I'm saying? That again, coaching matters. What you doing on the training pitch day in, day out.
Yeah. Adiwale, big up, says, my main driving force for the love Rashford and Bruno were getting is because it seems like it's a dying was to hate people for their Martial and Pogba. But now Pogba's gone and Martial leaving, people want to see the light with them. We'll discuss that in a bit now. Sancho scored last night. Do you think we should take him back? I think it's down to the Berardi, innit? And the new manager if Sancho comes back. Good goal yesterday, though.
Ties into what I'm saying.
Do you know when I saw that? When I saw that goal, it's like he's never doing that in the Premier League. As soon as I saw it, I said he won't do that in the Premier League. So it's again, you know, he looks good in that league. Clearly, that's where it is because we've never seen that player here. Never seen that player.
It ties into what I just said. The new manager comes in and goes, you know what? Sancho fits the style. I can hear it. Or if the manager says, no, Sancho doesn't fit my style. This is where it's now at. Forget names. I'm tired of this. Forget names. It needs to be profiles. That's where we're at.
Do you reckon the fan base are ready though for this stuff? Because a lot of loyalty towards Bruno. There's a lot of loyalty.
Respectfully, fuck the fan base. Couldn't care less what they want. I can't clarify that enough. I include myself in that. Forget the names. Style. I keep saying this. Profiles.
Style,
I'm tired of this.
Style.
It's like when people are like, oh, we need to go and get. We'll talk like that as fans because guess what? We don't have the database of what Manchester United have. There's obviously exceptions to that. There's certain content creators who watch football ridiculously. Like the likes of like Kaneki, Strasbourg, Steve, Jez, they're my guys. Them man could tell you about.
Yeah, they're real.
Them man could tell you about the second team. I mean, a team in the German division, in the second division of Germany. Like they in the mid-table and break it down like we can break down Manchester United, Everton. But there are exceptions to the rule. Forget again, too busy names. Oh, let's go and get such and such. No, we go and get the profile. So even if it's a Mason Mount, why do we spend 60 million on Mount? All right, I just want energetic 6 energetic 8 who's technically half decent and runs laps. All right, let's go locate one. You don't have to pay 60 million for it. Easy. Forget the fan.
It's that old saying, innit? It's that old saying that it's not about the name on the back of the shirt, it's the badge on the front. Do you know what I mean? It's not about the players, is it? I mean, it's about working for the team and the team unit.
That's not the case in Manchester anymore. It's all about who's in the team.
The fans.
It's mad. It's mad. Like yesterday, like even I was doing it. It's crazy now that you dissected a match, and I say I was doing it on Adam's channel and that. Like, I'm just picking out. I'm trying to pick out players who had a good performance rather than saying, and it's what I'm going back to. The team didn't have a good performance. They're not a collective, and that's what we was always, bro. And you know, it sounds like history books or whatever. But do you remember when Manchester United were good? It was more a case of who didn't play well.
Long time ago.
Like, who had an average game because everyone was on it. It's average game. Now it's like who stood out most, and most of them are just dropping average games because everyone else is shit. The turnaround in this last 10 years is scary at the drop off we've allowed this club. And listen, like you know, big up to I can't remember his name's gone out of my head. Jarvis, sorry, who's saying, you know, never forget the real reason why we are where we are, and that is because of the fucking Glazers. Let's never forget that because I don't know if you heard it Sayed yesterday. Ash, you would have heard it. You know what broke my heart a little bit yesterday? Stand Up If You Hate the Glazers was starting to be sung around Old Trafford. Barely anyone stood up. The club
Mate, the South Stand, it pisses me off. South Stand, nobody stands up. Do you know what I mean? It's the old bastards in there. They just don't want to know about it. Do you know what I mean? They're all sat down. They don't care. They're shouting like, "Sit down." Do you know what I mean? It's madness.
But before this, the Sir Jim stuff, like it was like near me. Obviously, you know where I sit.
I predicted that
everyone was up. Everyone was on the feet.
Comes in.
I was literally on my own. I was literally on my own yesterday. and it broke my heart because it means we're resigned to have these fucking leeches stuck to this club for as long as Surgeon's alive. That's pretty much how I see it, and it's fucking disgusting.
No, 100%, man. Big up to Robo says the manager of fraud wasted so much money to his former club playing terrorist football with no style. Heisenberg looking like criminal pool supporter. I think Robo there went in full in on that one. No, 100%, man. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like with the fan base now, it just comes down to expectation. Like, are we serious? Are we going to hold on to our favorite players? Is it uncomfortable conversation? We're talking about buying a left back now. We shouldn't be really like buying fullbacks, you know what I mean, this summer. Because I know United are going to get fleeced by buying a left back. This is what I'm trying to say. Like,
this ties into the hierarchy and them doing their due diligence. We shouldn't get fleeced now. If they're doing what they're supposed to do, we should not be getting fleeced. All right, this is the manager. We need a left back.
We get out there, left back though now.
Again, this ties into what I'm saying. Scouting, system. We can get. I need a left back. I need a left. But again,
Marco, have you gone to Brighton though?
No, DeMarco
he's top of Inter.
That's why we're bringing that guy.
But that's the point. But this
is I don't rate him. He's probably the best left back in the world.
But this is exactly what I'm just talking about, though, Saeed. Forget names. We need a left back that attributes. All right, we need a left back that does this, and this. Go and find one. Because he fits this system.
We might not even need a left back. We might be needing left wing backs. Do you know what I mean? We're playing a free back three, Nagelsmann and a few of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I go get a kid. Go get a kid from Girona, man. Again,
Gutierrez. Is it Gutierrez or is it Helen? Yeah,
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez. Yeah.
Go get him, man. Yeah, he'll be class. Won't cost too much,
bro. Left backs have been quite dodgy for United, you know, over the years.
Because we don't locate. How come Spurs can find a doggy? How can Spurs find a doggy?
Malastio, you know,
no one went talking about him.
Who else have we got left backs? Regulon. We haven't done well left backs. You know what I mean? We've kind of like, you know what I mean?
Properly, family. That's what the problem is. Nobody wasn't talking about Dogie in the summer. Now he's one of the best left backs in the league, clearly. 19.
Shout out to that guy, Pratucci.
What about is it Kirkes from Bournemouth, mate? You know what I mean? He's
He's good. He's good.
He's decent, you know? Yeah. Again, it's what's false. They fit the profile. Don't matter cost. Get them in. If you think every box is ticked, get them in. It doesn't matter now, and it shouldn't be it's been names. Like going back to what Flawless said about Mount. Apparently, the only reason we got him is because they knew he had to get him now because they didn't want him to go out.
Oh my days!
He's get him now or lose him.
That is criminal.
Lose him like he's someone to lose. Like of note.
Yeah.
It's Mason Mount.
Oh, it's mad, you know. It's mad.
Have you not know what? Just to clarify in the summer, in case people have forgot, because people act like it didn't happen. Chelsea fans were the ones putting him in Manchester United kits. Just to clarify for that. You see all them edits that was out there in the summer. That was Chelsea fans doing that, putting him in Manchester, and it was multiple edits. That's how good he is. That their own
Flawless. We passed up on Maddison, who was cheaper, and a United fan, do you know what I mean? And a much better player.
He's injury prone. That's what I got told.
You know why we passed up on Madison? Because he would have kicked Bruno out the team, bro. That's
what I'm saying.
We can't have competition. We can't have competition.
No, they have to be happy to be squad players. They have to be happy to be squad players.
Yeah. Where would we be without Bruno, man? Look what he's led us to.
And the same thing with Luke Shaw. Same thing with a lot of players. Like, what do we do if we get this guy out? And you know what I mean? Like Rashford, we don't need a winger because you know what I mean. This and that, and we don't need a striker. Like, come on, man. We need more quality. This team needs more quality. You know what I mean? And this is what it comes down to. You know what I mean? This team needs quality. But like I said, it will have to fit around the new manager coming in and what he wants and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I think this Robinson's a good left back. You know what I mean? I think he's decent at Fulham. But again, you know what I mean? It just depends on what the manager wants, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. For me, you know, when I look at what's going on now, I feel like it is vibes at the end of the season, but that vibes needs to come in because, broski, we got some. Who we got next? We got Liverpool, then Brentford away, Chelsea, then Liverpool. Yeah, that's our next 3-4 games. You know what I mean? And like I said, bro, you don't know what United are gonna get. What 0 points, goal difference.
Feels like 6 points behind Tottenham. Feels like we're on 0 points.
Yeah. You know how bad, just to contextualize, we are 10th in March, 10th of March, right? We're 0 goal difference. We are 6 points behind Tottenham. With they've got a game in hand as well. Against a Chelsea team, I expect them to beat them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they'll beat Chelsea at home, away at Stamford Bridge. I think they'll find a know-how. I think they'll do the job for me personally. And then it'll be 9 points. And Villa, people say Villa might fall off on that, but 8 points is still a lot. And then Man United, you're telling me Man United are going to capitalize as well. You know what I mean? We've tried to do that all season.
Our remaining games are bad, to be honest with you. There's a lot of games we're going to lose. I could just see it. I said this after the Wolves game. I come in here and I was like, it has to be vibes, boys. It has to be vibes, because I remember I come in here and I was trying to pick you apart, Saeed, because of the man them talking news. Every single one was bare negative about a win and stuff like that. And I was that was my non-negative, like 48 hours that I had. And I was like,
he was at the bargaining stage of the 5 stages of grief. We understand. He was at bargaining.
100%.
I get that.
100%.
I've been at acceptance for the longest, but you was at bargaining. It's cool.
As time's gone on, and like it gets to a point, and people will say, well, you're negative. And it's like, but look at it from the other side. No matter how many games this manager wins this season, and we all say it, how many of them have been good wins? How many of them actually been good wins? Like, and you can't say, well, Wolves was fantastic. He said, but we spunked a 3-0 lead. First of all, let's not forget that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we almost drew the game. Like, just fucking, like, it needs to be better. And that's why, Saturday really was, like, I've been, obviously, Ten Hag, I don't want him here. I'm not going to say Ten Hag out, but I don't want him here. Like, and Saturday really was the sort of the cut off, because I've never been to Old Trafford and never cared so little about it. But it's not, people say, well, you're not a real fan. How can you go to watch your team and not give a shit? And it's like, if you watch that live, if you watch that, and Ash will know exactly what I mean, for every minute we was in that ground, not one moment did I feel like there was anything to be excited about, or they looked like we were entertaining or up for it. It was, you know, barring
depressing.
Barring 2 good, decent runs by Garnacho, we had fuck all. Like, Rashford couldn't stay on side to save his fucking life. I don't know how you are looking across the whole pitch several times and you are offside. Bro, like, fuck me.
You know what? You mentioned it, Double A. You mentioned it. You know, when he came off the pitch and he wasn't clapping fans again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's pissing me off how that's not getting any attention. That he does not care. He's not interested. He's talking about, he's committed to United and he gives it his all and all that shit. It's madness.
I stayed and watched him, and he was smiling with every player. Oh, giving it to, Godfrey, Garner, talking. And then he swapped his shirt with Ashley Young, and I tweeted it saying, 3rd game running, he's just walked off and not applauded the fans at all. Not even near the tunnel. Not even a little bit at the sides, who are obviously going to be shouting his name. Some kid behind me was shouting his name every single chance he could get. Not that he's going to look, obviously, but, fans shouting. So if they're shouting him there, they're fucking definitely shouting him at the tunnel. Couldn't give a shit. So I tweeted out, someone went, well, he give his shirt to a fan. Stop trying to find excuses. I was like, well, I watched him all night to give it to Ashley Young and then fucked off the pitch. So clear, I know what I'm talking about. I wouldn't just say it if he was interacting with fans. He doesn't give a flying fuck about this fan base. And to do that interview before the derby, like, I didn't get a chance to say it last week, you are setting yourself up for a fall. And again, after the derby, he scored that goal and straight away these fucking lick asses are giving it, don't you dare doubt him. Oh my God, he does love the club. Oh, he's United through and through. He does not give a fuck about Manchester United, because apart from smacking that ball in anger, which was reminiscent of Wayne Rooney against Newcastle in 2004, 2005, pissed off, smashed the ball, scored a goal. 19 out of 20 times, he skies that every fucking time. So you take that goal away against City, he was shit. He was fucking awful. He missed a fucking sitter almost. He couldn't head down the ball into his own path because he's that fucking shit. And he gave away their second goal because he fucking dived. So don't stand here telling me Marcus Rashford gives a fuck about Manchester United, because each and every time I see him on the pitch at Old Trafford with my own 2 eyes for 90 minutes, everything about him, his body language, his output, tells me the fucking opposite. And I ain't stupid, and I've watched football for the majority of my life, all my life. So I ain't fooled about this kid anymore. So he can do his little shitty interviews, giving it, don't you dare question me about Manchester United, how much I love us. You don't give a shit, mate. And the sooner, I said it before, the sooner you go, the sooner I'll be happy, because I don't have to put up with watching you act like a fucking spoilt bat with a smacked ass while you're raking in 350k a week and not giving a flying fuck. I can't stand him. Honestly, for who he's supposed to be, Mank born and bred. And you know, again, like even if I fucking hate you, the fans were singing your name, and I've not heard that song sung in a Stretford for a minute, and they were singing his name throughout on Saturday. The fact that you couldn't even fucking applaud him for doing so, you're a prick, and I've had enough. Genuinely had enough of him. But as you know, calm double A today.
Calm, man. Now you went from the bargaining. You was at acceptance. Now you've regressed back to anger. It's cool,
I'm fed up, man.
5 stages of grief. I can tell, man. It's all good.
Fed up.
He'll give us a great gift of FFP. You know, we get 80 million for him. That essentially turns into a big lump of money that we're able to spend for FFP. Do you know what I mean? If we could somehow get some money from him, and they'll be looking at that. You know, that they'll be clearly aware that this summer, who is the player that can kind of alleviate these FFP woes within this squad. We're not going to get big money for McTominay. We're not going to get big money from a Maguire, which, let's be honest, what is Maguire now? 31, 32. You know, we can't expect 20 million for him. Do you know what I mean? It's just not happening. You know, his value diminished. Last year was our only chance to get any kind of value for him. That's gone. That now, you know, he's a 7 million player max.
You have to hope he wins the Euros with England, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Even then, who comes in for him? Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows you know how limited he is. You know, he needs to play in a back three. The only reason why he plays good for England is because he's in a back three. You know, he's got that protection in and around him. Do you know what I mean? The covering behind. It's you look at the squad. Who've we got that we can alleviate those FFP worries with? That's it. Rashford, he's the only player. Maybe Garnacho, Maino, but we're definitely not selling them two. Rashford, we've seen over. Yeah, McTominay, but what we're getting from McTominay, 40 million.
But I think
pure profit, though, isn't it?
If we sell
collectively get 100 million, man.
If we sell 5 or 6 collectively, and I don't think you don't have to be like massive.
You say 5 or 6 floors. We don't do that though. Do you know what I mean? Right. Nobody buys. Look at the last couple of seasons.
What's the best summer we've sold well? What's the best summer we've sold well?
But it's not about selling well. It's not about selling well in terms of the money. It's about selling correctly. When have we ever sold well? Even during the Fergie era, when did we ever sell well?
Bro,
in my lifetime, I don't remember ever going, oh, we sold extremely well this summer. You know why? Because we didn't care, because 1, the team was winning, and number 2, the incomings was on point. And this ties back into what I just said before about success. The reason why these things are now a conversation is because we are so bad, because we are so unsuccessful. We've never sold well.
Well,
we sold well? Dan James being the one.
But I'm
saying in the history of the Premier League, who we sold well? Who?
How much are we going to get for Greenwood, do you reckon? Because obviously Fabrizio Romano's has come out and said basically he's expected to leave on a permanent transfer in the summer. How much do you reckon we can get for him? Like, obviously with what's happened and etc., the most we can get for him. I think for me, I think we could get high, but the problem is it just depends on what INEOS think. Obviously we're thinking of what we think, but INEOS are going to be business people in it. They're going to be thinking, right, we've got a player here who's young, who's talented, who's got a career left. What can you get from? I don't know.
How long's his contract he's got left, though? How long's his contract?
2 years. 2 years.
Okay, so a bit of room there.
80 million, 60 to 80.
60 to 80.
The thing is for me, though, I think this season, people talking about him as if he's tearing the league up. Yeah, let's not be. Like, he scored 6 goals or something like that. Like, he's not exactly fucking. He's not doing it for a massive team. He's doing it for Getafe, who, let's be honest, at a club that just try and keep afloat within that league and try and stay in that league. They're not pushing for Europe. They're not challenging for anything. Like, he's doing okay. Like, so people going on about we need to get him back. See, in the chat before, we need to get him back. We need to get him in, or we could look for big money. I don't think we can. I think, bro, if we get 30 million for him, I think we've done well. I think we've done well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could make an argument he has had a good season because he's had a year off. He's playing with Getafe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
18 months off. You know, to come back and still be banging in goals and to be banging in goals for a relegation strapped team. Do you know what I mean? Or a mid-table team that he's not expected to get the goals and the type of goals he's getting. You know, there has been talk about Barcelona, a few of the teams in and around the league, but I mean, I don't think.
Lamine Yamal, if they sell Lamine Yamal to PSG, or PSG might come in for him and say, yo, listen, we'll offer you a good deal because Mbappe's leaving and you be our kind of next guy. But they want Lamine Yamal. Like, Lamine Yamal is the one that a PSG won. I don't know. Atletico Madrid, maybe they might come for him. I don't know. He definitely won't come to the Premier League because he'll know that it's just too much for him to come there. But, you know what I mean? I think La Liga will be the best option for him. But he might stay at Getafe, but Getafe won't be spending that sort of money.
Oh
They
no,
won't
he
spend that
has,
sort of
he
money.
has to he has to go to a club that's challenging more. Like, and we've seen with the whole Bellingham thing, he clearly cannot come back here because as soon as you run into someone English, he's getting
They'll
caught, he's getting
clatter him.
caught in.
They're
So
gonna clatter him.
listen,
Yeah.
personally for me, I don't give a fuck. Just get rid of him. Like he's never gonna come
First,
back here. So whatever we get through him, we get through him. Again, pure profit. And listen, I'm not saying anything against him. Let him go and have a sensational summer. Let him go out a season. Let him go and get another 10, 15 goals for the end of this. Whatever he wants. 11 GA, fantastic. Double that before the end of the season because all it means is that we get more money, and that is absolutely fine. But personally, I just don't see it happening. And you know, there was talk about what Radcliffe said about we need to make a new decision. We need to look at it differently. And listen, that's just PR. He's never coming back to Manchester United. I don't think they'd allow it. I don't think that decision being one of the first big ones again for Sir Jim is something that's going to do INEOS any good. I think they want to stay clear of any sort of mud or controversy. So it makes sense that he will leave. Listen, if Barcelona want to give us 50, 60 million, snap their hand off because again, pure profit, and it helps us, hopefully get our players in that we need to actually play for Manchester United where he isn't. So essentially, he doesn't really care or matter.
That's fair. That's fair. Couple of super chats here. Big up to Adewale again. Sorry, big up to Love from Oz. It ain't easy watching United play. Big up Mayo. I blame United fans for Rashford, Bruno Shaw. You people created these monsters who think they are better than they are. Couldn't care less if they played United or not. They are not good enough.
It's going on a 5-minute rant. There's no way. I think it's because of me. Don't blame me. Okay,
it's definitely not the fans. You know who it is.
Yeah.
You know who it is. The managers. It's the managers that continuously play these men. That's who's at fault.
Yeah.
And the club give him massive contracts and back him and make him the face of the. It's not us. It's not
Manchester United Football Club problem, not the fans.
Yeah.
Ollie was not strong enough, but hard Hearth for the club. Then we had Hart for the club. Then we get a manager with no likability, back with 500 million, bottom youth for Champions League group. Like it's okay. Rob plays the wrong way, no clue, no style, careless. Big on Robo. Just imagine we bought Greenwood from Getafe. We played nothing less than 80 million. Yeah, this is the argument of we have to be very ruthless as well in terms of what we can sell. Like I get it. Like it's like Anthony now. If United want to sell him, what's Anthony worth? You know what I mean? Because we might think he's shit, but I still don't want to sell him knowing that he's shit. I want to sell him like, yo, this is the best player you're gonna buy, and he's unbelievable, and he's someone has to gas it up. Someone has to gas it up.
Yeah,
you're a good salesman for that.
Yeah. You need a great salesman for that. It's selling for some rice and some magic beans. Salesman. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Get a couple some magic beans for him.
I'd give him a season. I'd give him a season under a proper manager. I think that he's still young enough.
Serious?
Listen, hear me out. Under a developmental manager, under a manager who can develop talent.
This is Trap's time now. This is a Trap's
time.
No. This is what listen. Trap said something wild yesterday, and you went at him. Now you're saying keep Anthony.
No.
Wow.
Because I'll hit you with some facts. Yeah. What player? What player has this? And you all say it on here all the time. What player has this manager improved? What player has this manager improved?
That's true, but you still have to have some form. There has to be some form of talent there. And I look at Anthony from that.
Can I just say something?
All right, in regards to what technically or physically he doesn't excel at anything.
Listen. No. But what I'm saying is, like I'm happy under a proper tactician and a manager who is not out of his depth in this league. I'm not saying he will be unreal. I'm not saying that. But what I'm happy to do is, listen, if McTominay can have 7 years, if Rashford can have 7, if Luke Shaw can have 10, like
starting it again.
I am happy. I know. I am happy to have, and I'm not saying he has to start, but as someone in the squad, I could give him another season to see where we are under a manager that I believe in. Under this manager, listen, the manager don't believe in him anymore. So it's clear that he doesn't believe in his talent. I think I'm not saying he's amazing, and I'm not saying he's going to be a world-class player, but I think I could live with him being here and having another season to mainly, if anything, to see what Saeed's saying. If we can get a tune out of him to a level where we could sell him for something that's not going to be from 80 million to 15, then that helps Manchester United. United don't do well on loans, so selling him on loan's not going to do us any good, is it really? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's going to sound like I back him and I think he's sick. I'm not saying that. I just think let us see him under a manager, because Chiche for Brazil is not a mug, and he made.
What's his peak then? What's his peak then? What's Anthony's peak? Because what tells me this player is not good is the fact that our manager thought he was good. Do you know what I mean? The fact that Erik ten Hag picked him out himself indicates to me that this guy's never going to be good enough. Because when has he ever picked a player for us and for the squad that's been decent?
He went to the World Cup and
rubbish.
He was playing better than Rafinha. He should have been starting over Rafinha in the World Cup because
he's another one.
Performance.
He's another one.
Well, this is it. But I just think I'd like to see certain players. You'd like to see under managers that can actually perform in this league. He would be one. But I'd say it's more because we're stuck with him. Right? There's an element to the fact we're stuck with him for the price. There's no way they're just going to let him go for peanuts. I just think. I don't know. I just think I could live with him being here next season under a manager that I rate and see what we could do with him. That's pretty much what my point is.
Yeah, 100%. Now, listen, I look at it from the point of view, yeah. Anthony, I feel like if we can cash in on this summer, perfect. I think ultimately it's going to be difficult. You know what it is? When you get players that have been bought by a manager, it's like when Mourinho's ones were hard to sell, man. You know what I mean? Like, to get rid of them was quite hard. Like, Bailly's still at the football club, isn't it? Technically, have we sold him? Is he on loan?
He's left now.
Are you sure?
No way, Bailly.
No, he's left.
Okay, my bad then.
Is Bailly still there?
He's left.
No, I'm saying, like, I thought it was a loan. I thought it was a loan rather than it's not sold yet. Okay, Lindelof's still here. Like, we got so many players from Mourinho's era still here. You know what I mean? So it's not as if, you know what I mean, it's difficult to get, it can be difficult to get rid of players. I look at Anthony, can he get better to a substandard? Maybe, yeah. But ultimately, this is a kind of a cost that you have to get rid of. You have to set a standard. I think if they get rid of him, it will show that, we're moving in the right direction. If Barada come and say,
because you just have to look at a player and go, okay, what do you excel at? What attributes do you have to get performances? What do you excel at from a technical aspect, a physicality aspect, and a mental aspect? I know you don't excel in any area.
For real.
There's nothing to his game just from a skill perspective. So forget performance. There's nothing to his game that he's an 8 out of 10 or above right now. Like, you can look at Højlund, even if you don't rate Højlund, and go, pace, you have the physicality, you're strong. That's something to work with. Anthony, what is there to work with? That's why I'm like with Anthony. That's why I'm like moving on.
He tracks back well.
Yeah, he works hard. Yeah,
he works hard.
Whose wingers don't work hard, he works hard. So
again, and that there lies the problem, because who also works hard? Your mate Scott McTominay. You know who else also works hard? Double A. Your mate Dalot.
No.
Your mate Dalot.
I think Garnacho works hard, man. People slash Garnacho, man. Adewale, what are you going to say about Garnacho?
Run around a lot.
Chat to me. 2 penalties, 1 Garnacho.
Dalot works really hard.
Listen, Dalot's not been bad this season.
He's not been bad, but he works hard.
You're too harsh on Dalot, man. I thought I was harsh here.
Listen,
Dalot's been good this season, man.
You don't want to hear the hard work. You don't want to hear the
Dalot. My problem with Dalot is, and it's I put it on him.
The Fanbase that gas him up. I get it. He's been good this season, man.
With his fucking Dalot tattoo on his
calf. Yeah. He has one photo with him, and he's now the CEO of the. Now he's got a connection with him. He speaks to him every time, so it's one of them, man. You know what I mean? It's like it's giving that moment.
It's stalker vibe.
I think for me,
Old Trafford, like you remember me, bro?
Man.
You remember me, bro?
Yeah. Nah, you know what it is, man. It's difficult, man. But you know what it is with me? Like, players like Garnacho, yeah. The reason why I'll just give him this credit, because he does try, man. And I'm not saying trying is good, yeah, but he's got that relentless kind of like, I want to take on
is
players.
Where the bar is that we're talking about hard work and effort. Something us four would do.
No. His relentless effort in terms of trying to beat people. Yeah, like,
he's definitely like, that's one thing I do credit him for, but you should have that within you as a professional footballer at Manchester United. It's just endeavor.
Yeah.
And that is one thing about Garnacho.
So.
Yeah, and that's the problem is endeavor. But if us four was on the pitch, we'd show endeavor.
The Fanbase don't like it, man. Yeah, well, as soon as you know what it is? As soon as I talk about Garnacho, yeah, the tap is always onto me, you know. Like, I'm just gonna keep persistent. Listen, I don't
Oh,
think
I
he's
Garnacho. What's wrong with Garnacho?
Oh,
He's just
nah,
not
man.
it,
The families are divided on him. I don't know.
He's just
Who's
not it.
Garnacho to be like, yo, we should be like, not saying hating on this kid, yeah, but like, yo, like he's just but he's a kid, man. Just leave
Well,
the
he's
kid
just
alone.
not. But he's just not good
overplayed.
for. He just not. Yeah, exactly. I've said this before about him. He shouldn't be starting
Is that
week in,
because he
week out.
started every game, though? Is that because he started every game?
Yes, he shouldn't be starting.
Like it.
He should be
But that's what I'm
developing.
saying. That's how bad we are, though.
Yeah, and that's the problem. But then Garnacho is, of course, going to receive the criticism because if he was starting every game and playing well, whole different conversation. Because when it comes to Mano, we don't talk about the age. Ain't they a year apart?
Mano's been suffering last couple of games, you know, by the way. I've not even seen that, by the way. He's suffering with his scrubs.
Manchester United.
Of course he is, because it's Manchester United. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with enough crap, then eventually you go crap. Yeah, you start like if you surround yourself with negative people, guess what? Eventually you gonna become negative.
I was positive before I come on this show, people.
There you go. That's what it is. What they say.
Yeah.
If a girl hangs around holes, what does that make her? Come on, man. We know what this is.
Yeah, for real. For real, man. It's true, you know, man. It's so true. Big up to Dakin says Eze and his entourage were given a suite at the Spurs game. Eze has CAA base and they're basically Spurs agency. Do they have suits at Old Trafford? Listen, man, we barely got toilets, man. About suits, man. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we ain't got nothing, man.
Did he have suites at Old
Suits?
Yeah, man.
They have suites.
One at a time, man. One at a time, man. One at a time. I big up Adewale, man. He says here, I can't lie. Anthony's better than Garnacho. That's wow. Let me just dissect that 1 second. I would play at other top teams over Garnacho. Only reason every time I play Garnacho is because there's no system. He just needs to attackers to get no goals, no matter how many times they lose the ball. First and foremost, Garnacho is more effective than Anthony. It's simple. And that is the principles of one of the Premier League. Like right now, if you're effective, you'll get ahead of anyone, first and foremost. Like, you know, with Salah. Salah isn't amazing to watch here, but you know what you've got to give him? He's effective and he's a machine. I'm not saying Salah is Garnacho, but that's the first bread and butter of a player. Are you effective? Do you score goals? Do you create chances? Do you create sin? Bro, Anthony does not do that, and that's been the bane of his career. Had he done that, and maybe not been glamorous to watch, I think he would get a less stick. But one thing about Garnacho is he's shown at 19, he's got better attributes than Anthony.
He's got goals and assists. He's got goals and assists. Players, getting wide players to have goals and assists is a difficult thing. We've seen plenty of quality players in this league, likes of Saint Maxim, likes of Adama Traore, likes of Anthony, and all that. Players who you'd think would be able to get goals, can't get goals, and can't get assists. Garnacho gets goals and assists. You look at Jarrod Bowen, wide player gets the same age. What were they doing on very similar kind of trajectory? Garnacho just needs a decent coach. He just needs to be coached to make the right decisions in the final third, to make the right passes.
He's not coached.
He's raw. He's a raw diamond right now. He's a raw gem. Do you know what I mean? And he's better to come out of him. But the fact that he can actually score, the fact that he gets himself into these positions, the fact that he's able to create and get win penalties, you know, and drive the ball forward. There's not many players at that age that are able to do that and get the numbers as well. So you just need a decent coach. Look at this manager. Ten Hag's not improved a single player we've had. He's not improved a single player. If anything, you could say players have regressed under him. Look at Rashford last season. Rashford, you could say it was off the back of him wanting a big season after the horrendous season prior to that, and then this season completely regressed. Bruno Fernandes fell off a cliff under Ten Hag, although you could argue that his numbers were a little bit inflated through penalties and all other reasons. But yeah, this manager, I'd want to see Garnacho under a solid manager, and he definitely improve. He's in line to be a top player and follow the trajectory of a Jarrod Bowen and a Saka. No special skills, no special kind of razzmatazz, all that nonsense. Do you know what I mean? But what he does, he scores goals, he'll get assists, and he'll win you games like he has been doing.
I don't understand how this fan base are getting on the young players, but like he's had a better season than Rashford. Yeah, if you say anything about Rashford, how dare you even mention? Like, and you know, Adewale, I could never slag someone off for doing a super chat. Big up to you every single time, but that is straight out the school of a Ten Hag deluded playbook. Like, how you can say that Anthony right now is better than Garnacho is highly deluded, because Garnacho, like, listen, and I've got my own issues with him, but it's more to do with the club failing him as a young player again. You know, we've seen it with Mainu. Like Mainu is tired and needs taking out the team and being able to again. I think even Ollie and Roy Keane were talking about it the other day about our subs and that, and then now they don't watch the game. Like these young players sometimes need to sit on the bench and watch the game and see how they can affect it when they come on. Now they're playing week in, week out. They're not. You learn in different ways. You don't always learn just by playing. You learn by sitting there and talking to the coaches and see what you can do. And I think, listen, bro, how can we ban about young kids coming into this Manchester United were built on young kids coming through and being a success. We can't say Garnacho is not a success. He's come through. He's probably scored the goal of the season.
Yeah, I see he's a success so far. I agree.
It's just mad to me that they're so quick to slag him. Oh, he wants to be Ronaldo. Of course he wants to be Ronaldo. Ronaldo's one of the best players that ever played a fucking game. Of course he's going to model himself on him. It's like, it's fucking crazy to me
here's what I'd say about it. Yeah, like obviously I want him to succeed. Anthony Garnacho, just the fact that that's even a conversation goes to show why we are where we are and completely in the shit. But what it is with Garnacho, because he's come through the youth system, there is this love affair. If Garnacho was playing somewhere else in the Premier League, putting in these same performances, we would not be campaigning to sign him. That goes to show where he's at. If he was at Chelsea, so Chelsea, another big six club, and was performing like this, we would not be like, let's go and get Garnacho from Chelsea. That goes to show where the performances are. Do I believe some of the criticism of him is over the top? Yes. Do I believe he's in an unfair position? Yes. Is he in a terrible situation and being being given a terrible platform to succeed? Yes, but also he is just not good enough for where we're trying to go to. The aim, like I always say, is Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. Is that Garnacho currently? No. And like I said, if he was performing like this at Chelsea, or he was at Newcastle, or he was at Brighton, or pick a club in the Premier League and had the same GNA, was having the same impact, we would not be talking about signing him. That tells you where he's at. Not good enough. And I like Garnacho. And I think he has some good. I think the acceleration, I think him being direct,
he's got the potential.
He's going to score. I wouldn't go as far to say he's got the potential. No, I'm not looking at him and going, get him to my club. No.
Yeah, but you weren't looking at him with Elise. And Elise at the same age, he's putting 2 goals in. Do you know what I mean? He's barely scoring and doing anything at the same age.
Yeah, so if Garnacho goes, because Elise, one thing I don't like about him is injury. If Garnacho gets to Elise's level where Elise is at now, that's a different conversation. But what I'm talking about is Garnacho right now at 19. If he was at Chelsea Football Club, because they're another big six club, and he was performing like that, there would be zero conversation about Manchester United going to sign him.
And zero conversation about Jared Bowen, do you know what I mean? And then but you see, if a player can score goals
but yeah, again, that goes to show that we're not talking about a Jared Bowen, but we'll talk about. I'm trying to think who's a winger we've been like. For instance, last season when people were talking about Matoma, for example, like he was at Brighton, we were talking about Matoma performing well. Like I'm not saying go and sign Matoma, but there was conversation about it. His performances warranted hype. Jared Bowen's performance, same way Ivan Toney at Brentford is, even though he's much older, performance warrant hype. Same way Kobbie Mainoo. If Kobbie Mainoo was performing elsewhere in the Premier League, how he's performed at Manchester United so far this season, people be like, he's a quality player. They'd be talk about, we'd be linked with him type of thing. I just don't think Garnacho's that great.
Soon people will be dragging Mainoo.
Oh, it could happen. Don't get mistaken, because I know what the fan base is like, especially the social media fan base. Well, some fans, I should say, on social media. But Garnacho is like, I'm not saying, to me, he ain't good enough for where we're trying to go to. But I do believe some of the criticism of him is over the top.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, this comment here is crazy, man. There was a lot of reaction today, man, on the situation, man. Listen, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but all I will say is that big up to Andy Vitted, innit? You know what I'm saying to you, and their people. So, yeah, me for calling things out, man. That's all I'm going to say on that one. And yeah, man, you get me? We just move, bro. Like I said, we just have our own opinions. We don't really, nothing's kind of come from a particular hate on a player. We just try and say what we think of our mind, and that's all it is. With Garnacho, I look at it and I'm like, yo, I think leave the kid alone, let him rest, let him land. And we'll see what happens next season. Do I believe he's Ronaldo level, going to be world class anytime soon? No. I don't think he's on Saka's level. I don't think he's on that kind of trajectory of a star boy like that. But I think with good coaching and with good kind of protection, I think he can become some player. He can become a part of, you know, something. Like I do believe if the players around him were performing, he'd probably not have a sniff. You know what I mean? That's a brutal reality. You know, if Rashford and Anthony and Sancho were all performing, and he would not be there, let's be honest. But like I said, opportunities come at United. Yanazai. So many players. Opportunities have come because of the way we are. And you know what I mean? You've got to give it to him. He never hides. He's always there. He won us 2 penalties. His endeavour. Listen, we'll see where he goes with his career and whatnot. But ultimately, it's I think of the bigger picture, man. We need to be a team. I hate this idea of individuals will make United better. Look at Liverpool today. Team. Man City, team. You know, these teams. Look at Tottenham today. Brushed aside Aston Villa, 4-0. You know, you're looking at Villa before that. They're a team. We're not talking about individuals here. We're talking about a team. United needs to become a team. And if we don't do that, then it is what it is, man. So we shall see, man. We shall see. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here. What a show it's been. I think one last super chat from here. Big up Robbo has been solid today. Big up Robbo. If we don't sack Ollie, we would be fighting today 100%. Ed and Glazers killed it and laughed at Rangnick framing them. Eric Ten Hag continued their fraud. Big up Robbo. Some very, very interesting comments today. Big up to everybody's locked in. Have we hit over 500 likes, guys? Is that true? Let me know. Stephanie, if you're here. Yeah, we should have. We should have, man. We should have at least 500 likes. Definitely. We're going to be redirected to Sarcasm City TV, people. How many are you in now from 10K now? What's the situation?
35. I think, is it 35? Yeah, 35. 35 subscribers. So we closing in on 10K, people. We get it there, man. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, man.
Guys, I'm going to put the link in the chat, yeah?
That's the plan, man. Let's get me to 10K.
35 of you, yeah? Please, yeah? I genuinely, guys, if you could do me a favor, yeah? Listen, I'm not really well with my ankle, yeah? So if you can make my day better, it would be get my brother Flawless to 10K. 35 of you only have to subscribe. Only 35. Yeah, man, he can get to 10K tonight. So please help him get to that situation. And like I said, man, it's a good show. We're just giving you here. Big up to Andy Tate, who's not been around for the last couple of weeks, but always love Andy Tate. Hope you're watching this and you're well. And yeah, man, big up to Ash. Got his vlog out as well. Make sure you check out his vlog. I watched it before, man. Good vlog, man. Good, no atmosphere.
Listen, you say that.
Dead, good vlog.
Yeah, it was dead. That was a bad one. That, do you know what I mean? I was out of body experience. That I just wasn't even at that game yesterday. Double A knows it was just it wasn't even watching United. That was difficult. That was a difficult watch. Yeah, now, but that's up. TikTok, recent TikTok's doing all right, 250,000 and all that, so I'll take that. That was pretty nice. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I like that.
That's just a 250,000 slightly.
Do you know what I mean? Listen, it only started a couple of months ago. Do you know what I mean? 250,000 on this one, I was buzzing. So yeah, we'll keep going on that. We'll see how that was. So make sure you follow me on TikTok and all the Ash Meppers socials and all that. And a big up to the boys as well as always. Always a pleasure, excited to come on a Sunday and that. And Saeed for having us as always and just doing what he's doing in the community and that, you know, proper fan. Do you know what I mean? Not like some of these frauds out there. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, appreciate it, boys, and good luck with the 10K. Is always flawless. I tune in the late nights, man. Top quality content.
Love, man. Thank you.
Come on, man. Nah, big up, man. Big up to Flawless as always. Double A, man. What are you saying, man? Everything good? What you got coming up?
Yeah, bro. Talking Kit doing its thing. Go over there, check us out. Full Kit Rankers. Flawless' favorite show. That's with an R, not a W. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. New episode coming out obviously on Wednesday. Finally got to kick up the arse. I needed to go and start doing more stuff for AAFC as well. Saturday I'm filming, so I'll be filming a brand new series. Winner Stays On. It's a different take on match vlogs. So that'll be interesting, and that'll probably come out next week as well. So go over to AAFC, go and subscribe. Very small channel. Anyone in there wants to go and listen to, you know, someone called Ash Gavardiol in the chat before, and I was like, yo, it's moved on from me, buzzing. But, you know, is what it is. But yeah,
you two look alike. That's why. That's where
I get DT me. I can't fucking stand it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's madness, that.
After what he did, that's a bad one. But no,
do you know what I mean?
Always, glad to be here. Glad to be back as well after missing a week. Big up. Make sure you follow and supporting these guys as well, because, you know, I wouldn't be as good as I am if it wasn't for these three as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them, man. Make sure you subscribe and follow and get Flawless to 10K and get Saeed to 100K as quick as possible, and get Ash to 500,000 views on his TikTok and that.
Yeah, how many followers you got on there, Ash? How many followers you got on the TikTok?
Nah, I got about 5. I got about 600-700 now. Do you know what I mean? So, but this one just popped. Do you know what I mean? Just came out of nowhere. So
on the way, man. Brand deals incoming. Brand deals incoming. Love that.
Big up, man. Big up, man. And Flawless, what's your show about today, man?
Yeah, people. So Sarcasm City Sports Q&A that we do, obviously, normally it's on Sundays, where we just answer sporting questions from the chat. So obviously, mainly we'll be talking Premier League. So obviously, Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal winning. Unfortunately, Manchester United, of course, there was UFC, NBA is coming to a close, playoffs is almost here, plus more as well. So yeah, make sure you check it out, people. Just a chance to ask whatever, so it's not as like structured, so it's not just Manchester United type of thing. Because people want to hear some people want to hear different things. So that's all. So yeah, man, love as always, Saeed, for having me, man. Much appreciate. Genuinely look forward to the show. Trust me, look forward to the show more than I actually do watching Manchester United. It's just a shame we have to talk United, like for real.
For real, watching Man United.
Yeah, like for real. Like I genuinely love having the conversations here because it's like it's in depth and I always learn something. That's what it is. Always, obviously, because you man are match goers, so you're letting me know information otherwise that I wouldn't actually know. I use that at a later date. I'm like, yeah, I know people who go to the games. They say shit there too, so don't use that excuse. Saying don't try that. People try that or how it looks on the TV. No. It's bad. It's worse there because you lot are seeing the full. We usually seeing what they show us on the camera, but you seeing it full like Double A talking about body language and things of that nature. So yeah, but big up as always, man. And get Saeed. So is a how far are you off 100K?
Not far, about 14,000. So we'll get there, man.
Not, man.
We'll definitely get
to 100K, man. You got to do something big for 100K as well.
Nah, definitely, man. I'm gonna have a party, man. I'm gonna have a big party, so I'm inviting the people, the subscribers as well. You'll be invited as well, and yeah, man, we're gonna vibe, man. We're gonna vibe it out, man. So big up, man. Big up. That day's gonna be special, man. You know what I'm saying? So big up to everyone who's been part of the journey. Big up to everyone who's locked in right now. Smash the like button. Big up to everyone who donated today. Adewale, you get me. Everyone here, Robbo as well. And Day Kim, I think a couple of others donated as well. So big up to you lot. Check out Sarcasm City Night now. And I'll see you tomorrow for Midday Live. Big up, people. We're out.